So in today's lecture, we will be working on few problems based on lecture number 5. So let's begin with the first question. So here we have a single stage rocket that takes off from the Earth's surface. It's given that it starts off with a initial speed of 2500 meters per second, and it is exhausting 1/100 of its initial mass per second. And also it has got 80% of its total mass is fuel. So using this information, we have to calculate the total flight time as well as the maximum height that it can reach. So let's begin. Here we have the mass loss, which is given by alpha, so that is equals to 1/100 of its initial mass. So that's unit is second inverse, so that's 0.01 second inverse. Then we have, it's given that 80% of its total mass is fuel. So that means the beta value is given as 80%, which is equals to 0.8. Then we have the speed. The speed, that means this is the speed of the exhaust. So that's U is equals to 2500 meters per second. So now that we have the values, let's calculate the total time of flight. So the total time of flight, that's T of F, is given by beta over alpha. So our beta value is 0.8 divided by alpha, which is 0.01. So when we solve for it, we get 80. So since this is so that will be 80 seconds. So this is the total time of flight. Total time of flight till it exhausts all its fuel. Now we have to find out the maximum height that it can reach in this total time of flight, that is 80 seconds. So let's do that. So to do that, we're going to use the formula for finding out the total height. So that is given by C of F is equals to total time of flight, T of F, multiplied to V naught minus half G times TF plus U over beta times 1 minus beta times natural log of 1 minus beta. In the previous lecture, at the end, we derived this formula. However, I made a mistake. So in place of positive, I used a negative, but this should be positive. But now coming back to our problem, so we have T of F, so that's the time of flight, that will be 80 multiplied to V naught. So V naught, this will be 0. That's the initial velocity, minus half G is the acceleration due to gravity. So for simplicity, we're going to consider 10 times the time of flight. So the time of flight is 80 plus U is given as 2500 plus U, so that's 2500 over beta. So our beta is 0.8 multiplied to 1 minus beta, so that's 0.2 times natural log of 0.2. So then we perform all this calculation. So what we get is 87,528.104. This result will be in meters, and if you want to convert it to kilometers, we simply divide it by 1000. 87.528 kilometers. So this is the maximum height that the rocket can reach at a speed of 2500 meters per second in 80 seconds. So let's move on to the next problem. So problem number 2. So here it's mentioned that we have a rocket that has an initial mass of 6000 kilograms and it requires an exhaust speed of 1500 meters per second. So that means the initial mass m naught is given as 6000 kilograms, and in order to lift this rocket, it needs to have an exhaust speed, that's velocity of U will be 1500 meters per second. The question is how much gas needs to be released every second. So what we have to find out is dm over dt. So that's what we need to find. To launch at an initial upward acceleration, so this is also given, and the acceleration is 19.1 meter per second, and this is the initial acceleration. So let's begin. So we consider the fundamental rocket equation. F external equals to m times dv over dt plus u times dm over dt. We derived this equation in lecture number 5. So F external will be negative m times g. The reason it's being negative is we have considered the ground to be the reference level, and as the rocket ascends upward, it will be negative mg, because mg will be in the downwards direction, whereas the external force will be, or the thrust will be, in the upwards direction. So that's equals to m times dv over dt plus u times dm over dt. Now since we need to find out the value of dm over dt, so let's write the equation in terms of dm over dt. So we have u times dm over dt, so that will be equals to negative mg minus m times dv over dt. Dividing both sides by u, we have dm over dt equals to negative m over u times g minus m over u times dv over dt, which is equals to, so let's take negative m over u as common. So we have g plus dv over dt. So this is dm over dt. So let's plug in all the value. So dv over dt, that's the initial acceleration. That means the x at t equals to 0, when the rocket just starts, it's going to have an acceleration. dv over dt is equals to 19.1 meter per second. So let's plug in all these values here. So we have dm over dt, so that's equals to negative. So our mass is given by 6,000 divided by the exhaust speed, which is 1500, mole multiplied to g, so let's consider it as 10, plus dv over dt, so that's 19.1. So we'll plug all this value into a calculator, and that should give us negative 116.4, and the units will be kg per second. So this was what we were asked to find out. So this amount of mass will get ejected, so that the rocket will be accelerated upwards with an acceleration of 19.1 meters per second squared. Let's go to the next problem. So here we have a two-stage rocket in free space. We have to consider the equation for the free space, and the fuel accounts for up to 80% of its total mass. So that means, like, we have a two-stage rocket system. So let's draw a figure that will help us understand. So let's say this is a two-stage. This is stage 1 and this is stage 2, and there's a payload. So here we are given the value of beta, which is the fuel mass divided by the total mass of the rocket. So that value is 80%. So we have 0.8. Then the exhaust speed of the rocket is given as u is equals to 2000 meters per second. Now we need to find out what will be the change in velocity after the first stage is finished. Now let's write it down. After stage 1 is exhausted, we know that our rocket equation is given by, in free space, the change in velocity is equals to u, the exhaust speed, times the natural log of 1 over 1 minus beta. So let's substitute this value. So for u we have 2000 times natural log of 1 over 1 minus beta, so that's 0.2, which is equals to 2000 times natural log of 5. So this is after stage 1 is exhausted. Then once the stage 1 is exhausted, now we only are left with stage number 2. Now in this particular case also, the beta value is 0.8. That's we have to consider. So this is a very ideal situation that we are considering in this particular problem. So that means after stage 2 is exhausted, so let's call this the change in velocity of stage 1. So we have change in velocity for stage 2, so that will be u times natural log of 1/1 minus beta. Now, so we have u, which is 2000 times natural log of 1/1 minus beta, so that's 0.2, and this is also giving us 2000 natural log of 5. So now we have to find out the total change in velocity when the second stage is complete. So that means what we have, the v final, so that will be equals to v2 minus v0. So this will be the total velocity change. So that's equals to v2 minus v1 plus v1 minus v0. So we have already obtained v2 minus v1. So this, which is actually delta v for stage 1 plus v1 minus v, this is stage 2, and we have delta v for stage 1. So that's equals to 2 times 2000 of natural log of 5, which gives us a value of 6440 meters per second.